Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2025 BMW M4 Competition. This is the xDrive model. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Charlotte for providing the sports car for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This M4 is finished off in Alpine White. MSRP is just over $93,000. Now the M4 is powered by the 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6 paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. It now pumps out 523 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque, sent through that xDrive all-wheel drive system. The sports car weighs in at 3,800 pounds. From what I have found, 0 to 60 can happen in as quick as 2.8 seconds with the all-wheel drive system. Top speed is 174 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city, 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 189.1. It has a width of 74.3, a height of 54.9, and its ground clearance measures in at 4.7 inches. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling for this specific M4, there's not too many options for this model. Those wheels are even included as well, which is a fantastic wheel option for this color combo. But let's work our way up front now, where there's the kidney grille, forward-facing camera, plenty of cutouts in that grille. There's also parking sensors as well. Nothing really new for the 25-year model. The headlight housings are slightly different, however, still retaining that dark housing and still retaining LEDs for the headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. You'll notice the blue accents as well within that housing. There's also more cutouts in the lower section, as well as some very nice lines that run throughout the front end, and then there's gloss black for the bumper corners there. And then some nice lines that come down the hood. They're a continuation of that grille, so it flows nicely and works really well with this front end. Now, as we move our way to the side, this model has a staggered setup for these wheels. They're 19 by 9.5 up front and 20 by 10.5 in the rear. Beautiful multi-spoke design to these. There's the red M Sport brakes just behind that, and these wheels match nicely with this white. I wouldn't change a thing. This has a really good look to it. There's also the power folding side mirrors that are gloss black with the camera and turn signal. More gloss black for the lower side skirt. It's also on the M4 Comp badge. All of the M4 competitions come with the carbon fiber roof, which is a great look. All the window trim is blacked out as well. There's really nice lines that run down that door there. I think it has a great look for this coupe. And then in back, this has the gloss black trunk mounted spoiler. There's a backup camera with all the sensors. The LED taillights are slightly different as well, and they now utilize the laser diode technology, so a little bit different from previous models. There's also more gloss black for that lower diffuser, as well as the quad tip dual exhaust. Now this still has remote start, so triple tap that lock button. We can bring this to life. And then when you triple tap on that again, that is how you can shut the vehicle off. You can also use the button on the key fob or up underneath to open up the power trunk. Now there's actually a good bit of space for this daily driving sports car. You have a compartment over on that passenger side, net over on the driver's side. You can also fold down the back seats as well. So there's tabs there in order to do that, where you can get a lot more interior space just depending on the items that you have. There's no storage underneath the floor, however, so it's still practical for its sizing, and then you have the controls for that power trunk. Now, as we work our way to the interior, this has the Fiona red leather, another good combo for this model. There's also the Harman Kardon audio, brushed aluminum accents. We have the window and side mirror adjustments, memory seating controls, and then some storage and a trunk release. M4 is down on the door sill, and then take a look at the two-tone for these seats. They are automatic, with the one exception for the manual leg support that you can adjust as needed. Now, in order to hop into the back, simply just push that backrest forwards, where the seat is going to move itself forwards to give you plenty of space to hop in. Now at 5'10", honestly, it's not all that bad. We do have some vents. I'd say a good bit of leg room, and at 5'10", I'm just touching the headliner here. We have an armrest, a little bit of storage here, and then large windows. So I could ride around town and be comfortable. It is spacious for full-size adults, or you can use this for extra storage. So even if you have kids or something and you want a practical and performance-oriented vehicle, plenty of space for the M4. It's also very low, so it's easy to get into. where we are greeted with a new design for the steering wheel. We have that flat bottom look, more carbon fiber accents. There's the stripe up top with all of the stitching, and then we have M1 and M2. So these are the presets for your driving modes, massive carbon fiber paddle shifters. But let's fire this back up and take a listen to how the M4 sounds. And coming back to the gauge cluster, you'll notice for the current layout, there's fuel and miles per hour on the left side, engine temperature and tach are on the right side. Now you can use this control right in the middle to go through some more information. There's also volume and tuning, Bluetooth and voice commands. But if I push on that control, now we have content that we can scroll through. So you can go through all of this, just depending on what you would like to see. You have your TPMS, there's also the different driving modes, so this is how the vehicle is currently set up. You can even pull up the navigation, and then you have your compass there and a few other vitals. You can also go into the head-up display, where you can go through a few more, just depending on what you'd like to see, as far as reduced or showing the compass as well as your RPM. And then over on this left side, you have your cruise control settings. And then on the far left, you have a little bit of storage down below. You have all of your headlight adjustments. There's one air vent with the new design for that control. And then looking at the infotainment system, you have quite a lot to go through. So on the home screen, you can scroll through all of these widgets. You can even add some and rearrange them depending on what you use the most. And then we have presets on that left side to further get through this. Where there's Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you have your exterior lighting. You can also use the control down below to further go through that. And then you have shortcuts for your music. You can get into your phone as well, and then pull up the nav in full screen. Now the climates are right in the middle, so you can quickly get into those, along with the heated and ventilated seats and the heated steering wheel as well. There's more carbon fiber underneath that. We have air vents in the middle, along with power and volume. You have tuning, as well as some defrosters. Underneath this carbon fiber lid, there's two cup holders, along with auxiliaries and wireless charging. And then you do have these shortcuts for that infotainment system. So like I said, you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. You can use all of these controls down below. Now, in order to put this into reverse, we'll simply put the shifter in that position, where you have the 360 view, as well as that top-down view, and you can go around the entire vehicle. So you have no shortage of visibility. There's drive, also the sport mode, so you can shift using the shifter or the paddle shifters. And then park is located on the back side. There's also adjustments for the transmission, so you can adjust how slow or quickly you would like that to shift. Now there's traction control along with a shortcut to the camera system, so that will pull up your forward camera. There's also the parking sensors, engine start stop. And then if you push on M mode, this is how you can actually change the gauge cluster. So let's go to sport mode, where now we have a different view. We have settings on the left side, vitals on the right. It will also show up with the RPM on the head-up display. So this is all of your performance information. If you click on setup, this is how you can go into M1 and M2. So you can configure these and have the presets all ready to go between your efficiency as well as Sport Plus. So you have those shortcuts ready. And then behind that, we have the exhaust note, auto hold, and the e-brake. A little bit of storage in the armrest, as well as plenty of storage in the glove box there. There's garage door buttons underneath the rear view mirror, and then you have dome lights up top. And then here's a look at visibility over the right shoulder. Pretty easy to see with those large windows, and then equally as easy to see over the left side. As we set up now behind the wheel for the 2025 M4, this is the second one that I'm able to drive. First one was actually rear wheel drive. So now we have all-wheel drive. I'm not doing any performance style driving to really test the differences, but obviously with all-wheel drive, you are going to get a lot more grip and a little bit quicker 0 to 60 time with that added traction. But this is a really cool sports car to go with. I think that this would be a vehicle that I personally would buy at some point just because of the additional room. When I have kids, my R8 is just not going to cut it because I don't have back seats. This is a vehicle that you can still get with a manual transmission if you would like to, and you have the additional back seat space to make it functional, and you still have plenty of performance. Now, what I also love about this vehicle too is that you can adjust how quickly or how slowly you want this transmission to shift. So if you want lightning quick shifts, you can set it up to do that, or you can tone it down for daily driving, and it's going to be a little bit more moderate in its shifting. So it's a really cool vehicle based on all of the performance technology that is available, including the shortcuts on the steering wheel, where you can set these up, get that exhaust to be a little bit louder, and just have all of the performance technology that you want in a daily driver. This is something that you can drive every single day. It's super comfortable, well refined, and with all of the seat time that I have behind the wheel of an M4, we even had one for a week. We were able to take that to the mountains and really rip on it. So if you want to see more performance style driving, take a look at that video. Today we're just doing normal daily driving here, and you can even feel those shifts just to give you some more of that drama. But like I said, with the miles I've put on the M4s, there's really nothing negative that I can say about it, and that's coming from someone who's never owned one either. I think it's a really good value for the money with what you're getting out of this vehicle. And at the end of the day, it's a BMW, so it's well refined. It's going to give you that comfortable daily driving feel that you want in more of a luxury focused sports car. But at the same time too, you have BMW's M Performance. And in sport mode, second gear, here we go. And this has so much more potential. Again, take a look at the video where we took an M4 Comp to the mountains to really see the performance of this vehicle. But even a mild acceleration like that still puts a smile on your face, still gives you the drama you're looking for when you have everything set up in the sport mode, quickest shifts, and all of that. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the 25 BMW M4. Definitely a great place to be. I think the size of the screen works well. I know a lot of people that's not really their favorite, but I think it works well, especially in this model here. And it's just a nice place. Seats are really comfortable too. We do have the functionalities of these different driving modes. So if I just put it into efficiency right now, we can also make the exhaust less quiet, so you won't really hear it as much there. And then the suspension also gets a little bit more forgiving, I'll say, on some of these bumps that we're hitting. So the driving modes are actually functional. You have so many different personalities with this vehicle in one, but seats are super comfortable. I like the bolstering support that they have to offer. And you have a plentiful amount of space for this style of vehicle. So it's a really good blend of everything. And you have so many different options. Like I said, you can go with a manual, you can go with rear wheel drive. We have all wheel drive for this specific model, which is basically the top trim level that you can get. And then you have a lot of different options too, depending on what your budget is. You can get extra carbon fiber goodies, things like that. But it's just going to give you a really nice driving experience. I wish I could do a little bit more performance driving today, but I have those videos that you can check out like I've mentioned. This is just, it's a fun car every time I get behind the wheel. This is something that you should put on your list if you're looking for a practical and performance-oriented sports car. But that's going to wrap it up for this 2025 BMW M4. Once again, a huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Charlotte for providing the sports car for me today. Make sure you take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. Give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.